I was born in Laos. I used to live in California and I moved here to Florida. Back in California, I was an artist for Disney. I was an animator. I worked on 15 animated films, so I have 15 film credits. I worked for Disney, DreamWorks, Warner Brothers. You know, in LA, Hollywood was great, you know, being single and nothing to worry about, making lots of money. I thought I had everything. I had my own apartment, sports car. I was living the Hollywood dream. Now I live here in Florida and I'm doing my own art. It was through my high school year that I decided to go into animation at the end of my senior year. God was guiding me this whole time and I didn't know it until I wanted to work for Disney, and that's when he really started opening my eyes. I met this guy when I was working at Warner Brothers. He was a Christian, and I was at that time seeking. I was like, I kind of want to know more about this God thing, you know. So, but this guy, he was a Christian. He was secretly walking me, and I didn't know it. And he was telling me, you know, you can pray for things, and God's watching you do this and that. And I was like listening to him, but I was like, you know, this guy is pretty religious, you know. When he said, you know, Tao, if you want, you can pray for your job, you can pray for your wife, or you can pray for anything you want. And I've never prayed for myself. I always prayed for other people. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should try it. And I actually did. I went to the mirror and I said, Lord, God, can you bring me a girl? Can you know, kind of lonely here. And so 2 weeks later, I go to the Philippines and I met this girl, and she later on in 4 months became my wife. And so she was already a Christian, so, and I was like, man, she's pretty religious. I better like start learning more about this God thing. So I started going to church and getting to know, growing as a Christian. And finally at one point I was like, you know what, this is pretty real. So I think I'm just gonna give myself to the Lord, and I dedicate my life to the Lord. And man, everything just, amazing things just started happening for me, you know. All my dreams came true, and I've always wanted to work for Disney. I always worked as an artist and animator, and things started opening up, and God just really blessed me. And my wife, she was mentoring me, and you know, she was already a Christian, and I was growing as a Christian, and what she was telling me and what I was reading in the Bible was all like so real. I was like, wow, this is really happening, all this stuff, you know. So, and from then I just kept going and dedicating myself. And that's why I was like, okay, Lord, you did all these things for me just to bring me closer to you. I believed. You don't have to prove anymore that, you know, you're real, you're doing this. And so that's when I decided, you know what, because you love me, I'm gonna love you back. As an artist, I was, you know, just drawing for myself, drawing worldly. I was working for Disney, I was working for DreamWorks, some of the biggest studios in Hollywood. I was like, you know, the big man on campus, you know. When I was working for them as a Christian, I did whatever I could to influence and be a light to my co-workers. I used my talent to stand up for the Lord, you know. The studios would ask me to do things that are worldly, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So, but I was their puppet. And then when I found God and realized that He's really blessed me, I said, you know what, Lord, I'm not going to be a puppet for them. I'm going to be a disciple of yours. Use me. You know, you bless me, and I'm going to give back to you. So that's what I started doing. I did children's book and children's ministry. I was preaching. I was in church doing stuff, using my art and painting and just whatever I could do with my talent, I would give back to the Lord.